Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Obodewari performed the groundbreaking ceremony of 4 key projects estimated at 78 billion naira in Warri and Efrun metropolis. The historic event took place on Monday in Efrun, a local government area of Delta State. Mr. Governor disclosed that the project include construction of road expansion and improvement works between Efrun and DSC roundabout, PTI Junction flyover, DSC roundabout flyover, NRI Junction and Marina Gate flyover. He expressed excitement at the project, saying it is the fulfillment of a promise he made after his inauguration as governor on May 29 this year. Now, Governor Obodewari explained that the 4 strategic projects are aimed at solving the gridlock often experienced between Efrun roundabout through PTI Road Junction and to DSC roundabout on the Efrun-Potani Highway at Efrun. The governor, however, recalled that Delta State government signed a contract with construction giant Julius Baja Nigerian PLC for the execution of the said project. Earlier on Sunday, while addressing journalists shortly after a Thanksgiving service, Governor Sheriff Obodewari said his administration will soon turn Delta State into a construction site. But the big question and the big story for today is, when will Deltans start truly having that feeling that they are indeed in the big heart, and what should, among others, be the best to come, especially from this administration, as it talks about infrastructure and human capital development, and also starting to feel that indeed these projects are one that are indeed for real. Well, this and more, as it concerns Deltans getting the dividends of democracy from this administration, as it has promised, is what this edition of The Big Story is all about. And we're talking about the big heart and the more agenda, Deltans' expectation. And that's what we're having as a major discourse today on The Big Story. We're talking about the big heart and the more agenda and Deltans' expectation as we walk into the next year, and seeing that it looks as if indeed things are beginning to start as it concerns infrastructural development in the state. But anyway, I stated earlier that I'll be having guests right here when we did the introduction, and I do have 2 guests. One in the studio is no other person but Comrade Emeka Owokucha. Is of the civil society push for true governance, and having to be a major player as it concerns Deltans' hope and aspiration. Good morning and welcome to the show, Comrade Emeka Owokucha.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Mike.
And also joining us all the way from Asaba via phone is no other person but Barrister Latimore Genesere. Is Executive Assistant to the Governor on Rotation and Communication to truly help us communicate on the issues that we're having. I hope he's there with us. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning to you over there.
Well, welcome, and nice having you all the way from there. I know how busy you are, but this is also so much importance, or shared so much importance, and that's why you're with us on it. But I'll plead with you too, or rather, I really want to start off with you. Yes, we saw the road construction, or the flag off of the road construction, just a day before yesterday, Monday to be precise. And Mr. Governor said, His Excellency, he said it's a promise he kept, especially when during his very inauguration speech on the 29th of May. But I want you to walk us through your thoughts on the whole event that played out. And do you feel this is one of many to come as it concerns his promise to change Delta into a construction site?
Yeah, okay, thank you. Please, before I continue, there seems to be a cross noise on this line.
Do forgive us. Okay, well, we'll see how we can sort that out.
Okay, if it's coming from your studio, please tell them to reduce the noise.
Okay, well, most certainly. Thank you for that. But go ahead.
So right away, I must say that we thank Deltans for voting the governor. And you will recall, like you already said in your intro, that during the campaign tour of the governor, what he promised Deltans was, solid infrastructure projects.
Yeah.
and also said he was going to turn the entire state into a construction site. And barely 5 months in office, he has flagged off this mega project that will turn around the environmental value and the city value of Efron and Warri.
Okay.
Like you really know, because you are conversant with the Warri and Efron area.
Yes, I am.
The congestion from that DSA runabout up to Efron Junction there.
Yes.
Then the Marine Gate and Nere is also a very big problem in terms of traffic congestions.
Yes.
And the way these flyovers are designed, they are designed in such a way that it's going to solve the entire problem, the entire traffic jam problem in those areas,
okay.
And then also add beauty to the environment, because the design is such a masterpiece that by the time these projects are completed, when you drive along those areas, you will truly know that yes, there is a governor on seat that knows his audience. So these projects are very dear to the heart of the governor, and we are following this project meticulously. He has directed that the DG, that the Commissioner for Special Duty should be the one that will continually go around to ensure that this project is done according to specification.
Okay.
So at the end of this project, debtors will really appreciate the governor.
Well, thank you so much for that, but I'll play with you to hold on. Let me quickly come to you, Emeka Wokocha. You heard what he said.
Yeah.
And, like he said, this is coming at a time Deltans are really yearning for more,
yes,
as it concerns infrastructural development. But my two quick questions to you. You heard what he said. Is Delta State not overdue with such infrastructures? I'm talking about such flyovers. Are we not overdue with it? That's number one. And should the governor really be applauded for bringing these just 6 months into his administration?
Yeah, Mr. Mike, if you could listen to the yearnings of Deltans,
yes,
and perhaps my own passionate yearning over the years concerning Delta State, it is a state that we actually love so much.
Yes.
I was born here, just as any other person, right? So the thinking was and is that the state should move on the right pedestal of development.
Okay.
Because the state is endowed with human, human, natural and otherwise resources to actually make the state, take the lead, yes, in infrastructural development across the state. Going by the fact that the state too is richly endowed in oil and gas resources.
Okay.
But over the years, you discover that the state has been, enmeshed with this problem of infrastructure development. So the coming of this new trend or development within that sector, is a welcome development to us. So we will give it to the governor, because when he first cited or rather made that statement, some of us took that statement with a pinch of salt. Because normally we have had other executives who would come and make such laudable pronouncements, and nothing comes out of it. And again, he didn't just make the statement. He did say that he was going to engage a reputable construction company in the capacity of Julius Berger, to actually take on this wonderful projects. And he has actually, done the groundbreaking. That means that the project has begun already. Yeah. Now, it is kudos to the governor. It is an applause to the governor. We hail him for actually, breaking the ice, to taking the lead. But however, we still want him to maintain the tempo. Because if you go by his small agenda, he said he was going to ensure that meaningful development, opportunity for all Deltans, and he's going to ensure that he will enhance peace and security and realistic infrastructural development for the people of this state. So we want him to up his hand and maintain the status quo currently. He shouldn't allow any distraction to a kind of lower his guard, so that by the time he'll be finishing his 4 years, we will definitely see a new phase of data, not just in Warri alone, across the state.
Well, I was almost coming to you on that because many will say, but let me just quickly get the reaction from Barrister Fred Lattimore. Hello, I guess you're still there with us, sir?
Yes, I'm here with you.
Well, good to know. Now, many are of the opinion that those 3 major projects were cited in Warri, and it could be Efru or Uwe, but everybody considers it to be Warri itself. And there's already that yearning and request. So I really want to get it from you, because many Deltans would want to see such project being spread across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. So my question now to you, what is the government's intention to put such other projects in other parts of the state, rather than Warri itself?
Yes, I can guarantee you that he said that when he made that elaborate statement of turning Delta State into a construction site. What that means is that the 3 senatorial districts will definitely benefit from this kind of mega projects. And let me say this to you from the outset.
Yes.
That this administration is here to make a mark. And the governor has persistently said that, look, in all the infrastructure we are going to put in the 3 senatorial districts, they are going to be standard and durable projects. And that is why you have seen the 2 honorable commissioners for works, the one for rural and the one for urban. Both of them every day, like pastors and evangelists, they are preaching this gospel to both the major contractors and the indigenous contractors, telling them that substandard jobs will not be entertained under this administration. Therefore, going forward, this kind of flyovers that you are seeing, this modification and the beautification of our cities and turning data into construction sites will definitely be experienced in Delta North, Delta South, and Delta Central.
Are you going to give us a tip? Are you going to give us maybe a view of where most certainly these will be next? Because that's what Deltas are asking. And how quick a time frame would that be? Whereas we're happy that came just this week, but many Deltans are already seeking for more, and you will not blame them. Everybody has the right to be Oliver Twist. So any other place, how soon and when likely are we going to have more of these coming soon?
What I can tell you is that we are working on those.
Okay.
The policy, the communication policies of this administration is strictly that no information goes out until we are ready and sure of the entire content of what we are putting out.
Okay.
Now, you saw the way the Julius Berger thing was announced.
Yes.
It came to Deltans like a surprise. There was no pronouncements that were interlocking each other. The thing came clean, and up to when the governor now performed the groundbreaking event, the communication strategy has been smooth and direct. Okay. So for now, we are going to keep those areas to our heart. By the time we are through with the designs and with all the planning, then the governor will make a pronouncement on the locations of those projects as we move along. Okay,
well, anyway, let's move along with the discussion. Let me quickly come to you, Comrade Emeka Wokocha. I know you've transversed the length and breadth of this state, and you do so on almost a weekly basis. And judging with what he has said, I really want you, like what the governor said, the main reason he did that was to deal with the gridlock often experienced between the Efrun roundabout through PTI Road Junction to DSC roundabout on the Efrun Patani East-West Road here in Delta State. But apart from that, also he said is to improve the infrastructural base of this state. But irrespective, I know you've transversed the length and breadth of this state, and you do so almost on a weekly basis. What other areas should such mega project also be cited in?
Yes, you see, when he made the mention of the Warri Uwe Axis,
yes,
the project it has just kicked off.
Yes,
would I expect that it should be the driver of other projects to come? And for this state, for him to make this state the truly construction site, it's expected that he should be able to look at all the nooks and crannies of these states and where there are infrastructure challenges.
Okay.
For me, from one analysis, if you could listen to me, you will understand that the entire Warri as a city need a total revamping in terms of infrastructural development. And so luckily enough, this state has multiplicity of towns. You go to Sapele, Ugeli, Asaba, Agbo, Kwale. You see, these are cities that can independently stand on their own if the government could uplift the infrastructural base of these cities. Because currently now, the state they are is actually calling, yearning for that attention. And if the governor could, because this state has the capacity, the state has the resources, the state has everything, to actually put these things in place. So the clarion cry is that the government shouldn't just lower its guards, that it has started this mega project, and that perhaps that would just be it for all. No, it should not look at how he could upgrade these towns I have just mentioned, and giving these towns the needed attention. Because when you do that, it is going to open a whole lot of opportunities, for the people to live life abundantly. Because one good thing about infrastructure development is that, it attracts investment.
Of course.
And it tends to, make business, very, very easy to be transacted. And again, for a state of this capacity, Delta State is rated as the second largest producer of oil.
If not the first.
If not the first. And going by the value chain along this line, the government can, ensure that you are able to up its hand and ensure that the state is properly developed so that you could attract
those needed investment.
Because what this is the enabling infrastructure on ground. And when you have them,
and do
you
business.
just walk up a hand begging. They will be the ones coming to you to want to invest.
I beg with you to hold on. I need to quickly go back to Barrister Latimo. You talk initially of we do know Julius Berger is a well-renowned construction firm, and we want to always stick to the terms of the contract. And I'm happy to know that you said two major commissioners will also be supervising that. But where the concern lies now, especially with what you said and what the government have also given us as more of an information, is the fact that local contractors or local firms will also be engaged in other constructions as it concerns infrastructure in the state. But that's where the worry lies for Deltans. And the issue of substandard contracts that were formally executed by some construction firms in this state, and the issue of them not sticking to the contract terms. Are you going to, or is this government giving us that assurance that it's not going to be business as usual as it concerns these construction firms not sticking to the terms of the agreement and delivering not only on specification but also on time?
Let me say to you that the previous administration under our leader, Dr. Ifeanyi did well for Delta. He met well, and he accomplished a lot in terms of road infrastructure. Because under his tenure, we witnessed about 3,000 kilometers of road across the state. Having said that, this administration is focused on delivering the dividends of democracy to the people. And the electionary promises of the governor will be accomplished to a fruition. And therefore, the local contractors will only handle jobs that we know that they have the capacity to handle. And above all, we are going to set up, the governor has already made it clear, that any job given to local contractors must be well supervised by the ministry in charge, Ministry of Work in charge of that project. That is to say that if you have a road project and the specification shows that you are going to do a 9 inches or 10 inches stone base on that road, that 9 inches must be 9 inches, that 10 inches must be 10 inches stone base. You are not going to compromise anything. Because what normally causes problem on these roads is that if the stone base is light, maybe the BOQ or the job specification says it's going to be 8 inches, stone base, and then maybe the contractor goes to do some foreign things and is compromising, and then he now reduces the 8 inches or 9 inches to about 4 inches or 3 inches. Then the pressure of trucks and vehicles on that road will make that project not to last. So the emphasis on this administration is that you must perform according to specification. And like I said in my introduction earlier, that is why you see the two commissioners for works every day on radio and television when they are expecting projects. They kept hammering on this point to the contractors. Don't give us a substandard job. Because one thing will happen in this administration is either you perform according to specification or you cut the money. If you don't cut the money, you will go to jail. Because the governor we have now is a no-nonsense governor. He doesn't give a damn. He's not interested in your face. He's not interested in the personal relationship he have with you, whether he knows you before, he doesn't know you before. What is interested in is if he gives you a contract, please do the contract according to specification, and the contract, the road infrastructure must be durable. So the ones we are giving to renewable contractors are the ones that have the capacity of doing. Like now, these mega projects that we are doing now in Efru, in PTI Junction, in NRA Junction, and the DSC roundabout. The design we have for those projects are not the kind of design that the local contractors can handle.
Okay.
And that is what we gave it to a major contractor who can deliver on those jobs because of the material and the engineering expertise that we needed for those projects for it to last long. So, by way of patronizing the local contractors, we are going to give them road maintenance and other jobs that they can handle. But as we get along, those local contractors who have also grown, who have expanded, who have the engineering expertise, and those who have gotten the right equipment, they can be upgraded and be given some mega projects in the future. But for the now, Jonas Vega is the main contractor in this state as far as this construction is concerned.
Well, anyway, I'll plead with you, Boris Salatimo, to hold on a bit. We need to go on a break, as much as I'll tell you also, Comrade Emeka Owokucha. When we come back, we'll talk about what Deltans are expecting as it concerns more coming from this administration. And we'll look at the areas of education and others, all in a bid for us to strengthen our belief in what we get. Let's go on a break.